I want to talk to you today about a very sincere opportunity and effort to acquire all or part of the FDMG Academy.
Well, it seems that the FDMG Academy could be saved. There are options on the table for Dr. Umar Johnson. Marquette Devon Burton has made an offer. Will he accept? There is another way that he could stop the foreclosure. Can his nonprofit file Chapter 11 bankruptcy? And an automatic stay would stop the foreclosure. Or will he keep begging his donors? What option will he take? Time is definitely running out. Because the city of Wilmington.
Down with the with the niggas to blind with King Khan, he can pound man. Give it here and don't say nothing, just give it here. And don't say nothing. Sack with the blunt, don't rap with the plan, let the thing, cut the check. Give it here. Don't say nothing, give it here. And don't say nothing.
I urge you all to show Dr. Umar, and I'll tell you why. My understanding right now, and I'll reference a video that gives some of the numbers, but my understanding right now is that Dr. Umar's school that he has raised millions for and perhaps allocated, actually spent maybe 1.5 million on, that it is in risk of being taken away essentially by the state, the government that is, and auctioned, which means that all of that money donated will have been thrown to waste. My sincere offer, and it's very clear that I can make this offer in sincerity and convert on it. My understanding is that Dr. Umar owes approximately 38,000 US dollars between utilities, back taxes, things like this. And in paying that bill, which is a manageable bill, he would be able to retain this real estate property, the land and the school buildings. So my offer is to, pending, of course, an inspection, and this can all be private between Dr. Umar and I, the inspection, the results of the inspection, the state of the actual buildings, all these things, because I do acquire distressed assets. This is clearly a distressed asset, and I think that we can do something that'll both benefit potentially students that could learn there at the FDMG Academy. It'll certainly benefit the donors who want their dollars honored and not wasted. It will make sure that Dr. Umar is able to continue on the journey that he's on. And of course, there'll be something in it for me. As I said, it's a distressed asset. So essentially what would happen is this. My sincere offer is I will write the check for, $40,000 or so, however many dollars it is. I'll write the check for $40,000 if you would allow me to just obviously tour the properties, and if they meet at least a reasonable condition upon visual inspection, then I'll send a proper inspector through to see what the true challenges are of the buildings. What is the actual quality of the HVAC, the electrical wiring, and all the things that are needed to get the buildings functional. And pending the inspector coming back to me with a report that doesn't have anything too egregious, meaning too costly, such that the actual value of the buildings would be less than $40,000, which I don't foresee being the case, I would then basically, and my understanding is he has a number of buildings, maybe in elementary, middle, and high school, is that I would basically do the following. Whichever building is appraises best and is returned by the inspector to have a reasonable number of repairs needed to make the building functional and useful, I will take ownership of that building. So what I'm saying in short is that I will pay, pending an appraisal and pending a inspection of the property by a certified inspector, I will write the check to remove your utilities and tax burden, tax woes in exchange for control of one of those buildings.
So he's put the offer on the table. He wants the building that is in the best condition in exchange for all of the buildings being saved from the foreclosure sale that is coming up this month. Will Dr. Umar Johnson take the offer? Or is there another option that Dr. Umar Johnson will choose to take? Or will it all just come crumbling down and end up foreclosed?
The benefit for Dr. Umar is that he gets to retain the other buildings and continue on with whatever he was trying to do. Because right now, my understanding is that he's essentially pressed to acquire the capital quickly. And even if he were to raise it from his donors, which are probably shrinking in number of and frequency of and amount of, meaning amount that they're pledging, the frequency with which they pledge, and the number of persons pledging. So he needs quick capital, and quick capital has value. And if he would invite me over, I'll fly out to Delaware on my own penny, and I will inspect it visually. I'll immediately hire an inspector, get an appraiser in there, and then I'll write the check. And then, I'll have one of those buildings signed over to me. He gets to continue on with a significant amount of real estate that will continue to be in his name and at his disposal. And
so Umar Johnson can take up on this offer. If the property does go into foreclosure, if there is surplus money from the foreclosure sale, that money does belong back to FDMG. So if the property sold for $80,000, then Dr. Umar Johnson would get that surplus money. So we do not know if he wants to even continue with this FDMG Academy in Wilmington, Delaware, or if it's all a front. He was in Newark recently telling the crowd to scope out a potential school out in Newark, New Jersey.
We both win, and he gets out of a tight situation. That is the proposal. And I do want to concede to everyone that, number one, I'm aware that he's blocked me on several platforms, and I don't blame him, frankly. I mean, I've cracked jokes, I've been critical, but this right here is bigger than Marquette Devon Burton. It's bigger than Dr. Umar Johnson. It's about you as a Pan-Africanist, a pro-Black person. You don't want this building and all the donations from Black people to basically go into the government's hands. And certainly this building is not going to go to another Black person, certainly not a Black person creating a school for Black people. So
first of all, I'm not familiar with this gentleman that is making this offer, but he seems like a reasonable man. I can't imagine that he would even trust Umar Johnson to open up a school for anyone the way he has carried himself. Who is going to want to seriously, other than groupies and fanatics, want to even expose their children and put their children in these schools? It's a private school. Most people can barely rub 2 nickels together, let alone pay $500 a month, or what it would take for this school to be profitable, as it is a private school and it is not receiving any government funds. The state of Delaware, rather, is not a school choice school voucher state where they give children vouchers to go to their school of choice, including private schools. So I don't know if this guy Burton is trolling or dry mocking Umar, or if his offer is truly sincere. But if he is sincere about purchasing the school because people were anticipating a school being there, he would be better off buying the school and putting someone else as a director or principal or administrator team together to open a school that does not include Dr. Umar.
I am a Black man, and I will cut the check, which everyone knows I can cut, and I will cut it quickly to salvage your effort and to save the valuable donations that you've already allocated. And all I ask is that I'm able to take control of one of the buildings, which I think is a fair deal.
If he acquires a building, it should be to put together a team of people with experience in running a school to go on and open the school. Some people with proper reputation and qualifications to get the funding that they need from the government to allow these children to go to the school, maybe make it a charter school, because the area that it's in, it's a impoverished area, and Dr. Umar's reputation and his qualifications are burnt out at this point.
Because frankly, it's in Delaware, which is like, you know,
the past few days since I've talked about our fundraiser and all the successes that we've had with the X for Boys program, of course, many people are in the comments and etc. Sharing the video talking about Dr. Umar or whatever like that.
It's not about Dr. Umar Johnson at this point. It's about the children. And then we need responsible leadership. We need responsible people who have been blessed to have money and to be able to invest in Black children. So if Burton really gets this school building, he should bet on someone like King Randall. And I will leave you with King Randall's thoughts on the Dr. Umar Johnson scandal. But yes, Burton, if you get the building, do not let Umar Johnson run the school. Get responsible people to actually run the school. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you're so motivated to do so. This is Wonders of a Black Woman.
I think he's on the cusp of maybe losing his buildings or something of that nature. Not sure what's going on with that. But, you know, my big thing is always sharing everything about where people's money is going. I've always been, you know, very transparent about that. If we've asked for paint, I showed y'all the paint. If we've asked for new toilets or something, I showed y'all us buying the toilets. I showed everything that you guys have given. We have an Amazon wish list. You know, we don't just ask for monetary donations. We ask for people to buy specific things. If we've asked for laptops, I've shared it. If we asked to get the kids haircuts, I've shared it. Our program has remained free, so we are still tuition free in our program like we have been for the past 6.5 years. I just think if Dr. Umar would have started something like with what he had, I think people would have been more apt to give him, and I honestly think he would have gotten where he needed to be had he had proof of concept, because he's a great orator. He talks very well. If I could talk that great, I'm sure we'd have, you know, millions of dollars raised. But I still started with something. I started out of my house originally. I started in my dining room at 19. And after listening to him, that's why I started it. I just wanted to start something. I knew that I couldn't start something mass scale, so I'm just like, I'm going to start with whatever I got. And we started with $0. I was cutting hair, fixing cars, painting houses. I mean, that's what I was doing to support the program originally. And then I learned how to utilize social media to be able to raise money. And we started doing that. And we went project by project. We failed, we succeeded, etc. But I've always continued sharing what it is that we're doing. So I know a lot of people always ask why they won't see us on the Breakfast Club or etc. You know, I'm not a comedian. I don't critique people's dating life. I don't, you know, talk about what people should be doing. I don't belittle my donors. We don't do any of those things. We just share what we got going on. If we don't raise enough money, we pivot. If we don't get things done, we pivot, you know, and we keep going. So we definitely failed. We failed some students, etc., but we kept moving and we kept going. And that's something that I believe in. So I appreciate everybody's support that they've been giving, but, you know, I'd appreciate, you know, just the stop the, you know, the Dr. Umar talk. You know, I understand he has his own thing going on. We've had our differences also, but I truly, you know, still wish him the best, and I hope everything works out with whatever he has going on. But aside from that, we have our fundraiser still going. Our program is still completely no government funds, no government grants. It's completely people funded. Everything that y'all see, our full-time staff, the vans we have, the new electrical panels, the flooring, the ceiling tile, you all funded it all. And we appreciate all the support that you've been giving over the past 6.5 years. We've been running this whole time. I mean, we even ran out of my grandmama's house at one point. But I appreciate y'all so much. Please look at the link in my bio to continue giving to the Extra Boys program. Thank y'all so much.
La vida es un caro.